So we're still on the show right here as far as the launch is concerned, and also just updating what's been trending as far as entertainment is concerned. So like I did mention before that clip that we're going to be having Mr. Mathew Tembo has been in the game for a long time, and he's going to be launching this album next week called Nka. So if you've been watching Prime TV's videos, been showcasing right here for quite a number of times right here as well. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Meeting for the second time.
Yes. In 1 week.
Yeah, in 1 week. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
All right. So let's start with the introduction. I know I've done an introductional part of Mathew Tembo, but on your part, what role are you playing?
All right. My name's James Ngoma. I'm the marketing manager for Cheers Real Estate. So we are coming in as the main sponsor for the album launch.
Okay.
Yes.
Quite very interesting right there. So, Mr. Mathew Tembo, I know we had a chat, but we're still going to be talking about it for the sake of people who never watched or listened to the interview that we had right there as well. Let's start from what you've been up to. Maybe a highlight, once again. People who were wanting to find out, where is Mathew Tembo? Where has he been? You know, that thing, that kind of arrangement.
I've been around. I mean, I moved to the US in 2011, so I've been there for about 9 years, 8-9 years. But I've been coming home every single year, well, since 2013. I've been doing music, so I went for my master's in 2011, and I graduated in 2013. I toured a little bit I had my own band. I formed my own band, Afro Routes, but I also toured with another band, Occidental Brothers Dance Band International. It's based in Chicago, Illinois. And so I toured with those guys. I toured with my band for a little bit, and then now I'm back in school for my PhD. And I moved from the Chicago area. I'm now in Pittsburgh. And I have we maintain the name Afro Routes. So my band is based in Pittsburgh now. And I have a booking agent, Zimbo Music International, and it books for my Afro pop band, Afro Routes, but also books for a reggae band that I play in.
Okay. Someone might still get to wonder and want to find out more about how have you managed to say, okay, you are not just making money just in Zambia, but you have managed to make money outside with the kind of music that you do. How have you managed to do that?
Well, you know, I think what happened for me was actually so I used to play reggae. I was a reggae artist, and then along the way I switched to Afro pop, as they call it in the US. And then I play a couple traditional instruments. I play a kalimba, and then I play a silimba, which is this marimba looking like instrument. So those have become like my main instruments, but I play with a pop band. So we have, somebody playing drum kit, and I have a horn section in the US and all that kind of thing. So I think people, and then mostly I've been playing live, really. I've been playing mostly festivals. So I think, yeah, that's people have a lot of appreciation towards that kind of music. So I think it's people support. It's just how they've supported the music in the US that I've been able to keep doing it.
With the knowledge that you've acquired, have you at one point maybe thought of maybe opening up a school in terms of music in Zambia, home where you come from?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I've been thinking about a school. Music school, but it's a lot of things going on. I think I'm looking at people. I know that there's lots of things that we can do musically. I feel like management, for example, arts management is not really happening here. Artists are managing themselves, and I think most of them maybe don't know what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know everything about the music industry, so we all need somebody who's specialized in that kind of training to push us to the next level. So I've been thinking about maybe a school, like an art school, not only performance but also management. Well, maybe we could train maybe like managers, for example, to manage our artists. And maybe also like people so managers to manage the business side, but also managers to manage the touring side. So we need people to know how to package their artists. For example, when you talk about press kit, they need to know what that is and how to take it to these other people that would be interested in. So I think now I'm getting more interested in like the management side of the arts. So yeah, I'm thinking about like, you know, maybe setting up a school, an institution where we could have like performance, but also business. Yeah.
You alluded saying that you are also pushing for your PhD. The other thing I'd like to find out from you is, you know, when people grow up, for some think like learning is maybe they need to stop because at the end of the day they have what they've been always wanting, but you still want to get to push for more papers. Why is it the case?
Actually, after I graduated my master's in 2013, I thought I was done. You know, I didn't really I wasn't interested in doing a PhD or anything like that. It's a lot of work, and you know, but I think it's just you know, when you get to a point where so we were talking about like, you know, starting a school here and all that kind of thing. So I know I need the knowledge to be able to do all these things, you know, and that's where school comes in. You know, I mean, if you want to start a school, how? You know, what's the plan? What are you gonna do? So I feel like school will help me do that. But also, there's no end to education. That's what I've come to, you know, believe in. Like you cannot say I'm done with acquiring knowledge. You cannot say I'm done with like reading or writing or learning. You know, it's an ongoing thing until you die. There's nothing like, you know, it doesn't end. Yeah.
2019, you are back with Konka. Quite an amazing thing right there as well. A few more days to go. It's going to be next week right there. Maybe just brief us about the album. And so, yeah, just tell us about the album.
I'm excited about this album. I've been recording for quite some time. And I don't stop myself. I'm always recording. Anyways, so this was supposed to be a double album. The record company that I work with in the US wanted this to be like, you know, 20 songs, like 2 CDs. And then Frank Sibuku, who produces Mpali, actually asked for some music. I was still in the US working on the album. So I sent him some of the music from this project, and then people like it a lot. They love the music. And I used to get these messages every single day since they started Mpali. You know, like, oh, when are you releasing this album? We're looking for this music. We love the music. So then I went back to the record company. I was like, oh, actually, there's a demand for this music now. We cannot wait until, you know, we're done with recording 20 songs. So why don't we do like 10 songs, release these songs before we move on to the double album proposal that year. So they listened, and then that's how we came up with this 10-track album, and a 12-track actually, the 12 songs. And then, so I'm so excited that we have this album, we have the music that people have been looking for, and the launch is going to be next week. And all the songs, actually, all the songs that they've been using in Pali and more are on this album. Yeah.
No local producer produced any of the songs in this album?
I mean, I did one of the songs, I almost said Mpali, Fale. Fale, the version that we have on this CD actually was, it was co-produced. We co-produced it with Jerry Fingers here. So we recorded some stuff.
I can't see any credit right here. The only 2 people that I'm seeing a credit.
Oh no, you have to open the CD.
Oh, it's inside.
Inside.
Okay, from the outside, it just says produced by John Caldwell.
Okay, so that's the guy who did the mixing. And so what we did here, we recorded the stuff from here. We didn't mix anything here. We didn't master anything. Okay. It was just like the recording, and then we had to take everything too. So John Caldwell can actually produce everything. He mixed everything. He sent everything for mastering and everything. So that's the guy who owns the record company in the US. Okay.
Yeah. From getting back to you as one of the sponsors right there, what has made you to say, okay, you want to be part of his album launch? Because I know these days it's not easy to say, okay, I want you to come on board. You have to make something out of it. So what has made you to say, okay, we want to be part of the Konka album for Mathew Tembo? Okay,
well, if you look at Cheers is a business, and Mathew Tembo is a brand. So each and every business wants to brand itself with the best. So we thought of we thought of coming on board as one way of branding ourselves and also one way of giving out to the society.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Quite very interesting right there. So getting back to you, Mr. Mathew Tembo, quick one. Earlier on, I did talk about the intro. On the other side, I was talking about the perspective that you gave about where you feel local artists need to work on. It was your opinion. Maybe we want to get to hear more details about that, because some icons that we know locally, they also gave their opinion saying, no ways. Not every artist need a band.
Yeah.
But you made it clear, said you feel where new artists locally, Zambia, where they miss it out, is they need a band. And you gave an example of Pato Ranking, where you were at one point of a show, he came with a band. Maybe just give it a brief about the story right there, because it has brought a whole lot of debate somewhere.
Okay, so I hear Mathew say that, you know, you don't need a band, and I agree. I totally agree that not everybody needs a band. You know, and I think it depends on what level you want to take it to. And like I said, I think on the radio program, if your vision is just to play in these clubs or, you know, these like Zambian communities in the US or Europe or wherever you go, that's fine. You know, like those people are, you know, they're kind of like they miss home. You know, they're nostalgic. So when they hear anything Zambian, we're excited to, even food. You know, you find Nshima in the US, you know, we're excited to eat it, you know, even if it's not well cooked, but because we miss it, we don't usually. So I agree that not every artist needs a band. But what I was saying is, if you want to take it to the next level, where you start playing at festivals, for example, then you definitely need a band, because you're not going to play Reggae on the River Festival. You're not going to play Toronto Jazz Festival using a CD and like some kind of like you lip syncing to your own music. That's not going to happen at that level. You know what I mean? Like on that kind of platform, it's not going to happen. But if it's just like a club, you know, in some club in Pittsburgh or Chicago, that's fine. You know, you can do that. And after all, the people that are going to come watch you are mostly going to be Zambians that live in the US. Okay. So that's fine. But what I was saying is, if it's at that level where you play at this festival, I've played at those I play at those festivals all the time, and usually I've had contracts where they say in the contract to say, you know, you're playing 90 minutes of live music. No part of your performance is going to be lip syncing or anything like that. So there's levels like that where when you play at festivals like that, you just need a band. There's no two ways about it. But I agree that it's not everybody that needs a band. It just depends on your audience, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question will be, Mumbayachi is going to be part of your album launch. Yeah. Not forgetting Teresa Ngambi.
And Mills, yeah.
And Mills.
Yeah.
All that team right there, just in your remix and summarizing right here, maybe viewers who are watching right about now, they would want to find out where the location is going to be and how they can get the tickets, Facebook or maybe outlets, anywhere.
Yes, so it's going to be next weekend. So Saturday the 17th, Social Club in Rhodes Park. So I'm sure people know where Social Club is. But anyway, it's in Rhodes Park. There's an old cemetery somewhere in Rhodes Park. So it's that neighborhood, you know, that kind of, that area. We start around 20 hours, and I want to say we're going to be on time because, you know, I understand that, you know, like most people that love this music actually are family people. So some of them might decide to come with their, you know, kids. And so we want to start on time so we can get done on time. And there's going to be a lot of artists coming to support. So like you said, Mumbayachi is one of them. Mills is one of them, Teresa Ngambi. And it's not, I just didn't pick random people for this. And then there's also Bato coming. So for Mumbayachi, for example, he featured on one of the songs on this CD. Bambande. Okay. Mills also featured on Fale. And then Teresa Ngambi is kind of like doing, I feel like Teresa Ngambi needs more exposure. I think she's a great artist. And then not so many people know about her. So I want to just make sure that I give her some platform because what she's doing is aligns with what I've been doing or what I'm trying to do. So we have all those people coming, but also the whole Mpali team is coming. So Nguzu and his wives, I don't know how many there are now. He's also going to be there. And you know, it's only and people can get tickets for ShopRite or Sounds pre-sale tickets, and if they don't have time to do that, we will still have tickets on the day of the event, so they can just come to the event and then they'll get their tickets there. So a ticket is 150 kwacha, and that includes a CD. And if some of you just want to come and enjoy the music and you don't want to have anything to do with the CD, then it's only going to be 100 kwacha at the door. And so that's what the whole thing is. But it's going to be, I'm excited, and we are already rehearsing, and I think it's going to be a great experience. And also I'd like to thank these guys, Cheers, for coming on board. Because I think, you know, in Zambia, that's the other thing that we should actually talk about at some point, or maybe you can take it up. But I think we need more people to sponsor the arts, you know, because I hear even National Arts Council right now is struggling, which is a shame. Like, how, you know? So we need more people to actually. I'm not only talking about Mathew Tembo here. I'm talking about in general. More people need to come on board and support the arts. You know, it's important. I don't understand how or why people are not seeing the economic value out of the arts.
Okay, it was great having you. Truly appreciate, and looking forward to the album launch. And we're going to be giving our viewers more details about how it's going to go, and also maybe Friday we'll still talk about it as well right here on the show.
Please, thank you so much.
All right, so we'll move on, and we were talking to Mathew Tembo right here just to find out about the album launch and also what you need to expect as far as that is concerned. On the other side, join me and Professor Lance as we get to wrap it up with the show today. But we dive straight to Black, who was performing somewhere right here on the show.